What's going on, everybody? We're on the final week. Can we continue? Can we keep the streak alive, even while using some material from last year? But still, today we are, in fact, talking about the dark and the wicked. Now, I watched this over the weekend with a bunch of my friends after carving some pumpkins, just to try something new and try to get one of my friends over their fear of not necessarily fear, but more of an uncomfortability involving certain movie types, and this might have been one of them. This movie had an issue later on, more with pacing, I would say, but let's go ahead and jump into the plot of it. Plagued by walking nightmares, two siblings suspect that something evil is taking over their family at an isolated farmhouse. Pretty much the movie starts off with an older woman hearing some strange things in her home. She hears and sees a chair kind of scoot up behind her, kind of with a passive hint at suicide. Her children show up the next day. Her husband seems to be in a comatose state, and where he's not really moving or doing much anymore, and he's having trouble breathing. The next morning, she ends up doing some rough stuff with her fingers and kills herself in a location that is way too high for her to have gotten up to or have strung a rope to do so. This kind of throws a couple of weird curveballs in for the children, as in, how did she get up there? You had to get that to get her down. That's kind of weird, right? Later that night, the comatose father is seen staring at his daughter through the shower, which is strange because sleeping people don't really do that, do they? Or say sleeping people, comatose people don't really do that. The next night, the brother sees his mother begin to fly outside. Dead people aren't supposed to do that, are they? That's about all I really get into. Let's talk about the plot and give it an overall score. For this, I genuinely believe, making sure all the letters aren't on there, or the numbers not on there. Basically, this movie had a massive problem with pacing. You started off with such a good premise and such unique kind of early scares that would keep a lot of people's attention, especially those that really like horror movies. But unfortunately, you fall into the trap of everything doesn't have to be a twist, and everything doesn't have to be how do I put this? Everything doesn't have to be slow paced nowadays in every horror movie to have that feeling of a good horror movie. But this one had lots of time in between scares. It had a really slow paced music. It was meant to leave you with this eerie feeling, and instead it just kind of left you bored. And that's why we unfortunately began to I began joking. I made fun of the film during it, and that probably didn't help its overall score. I wasn't scared during it really at all. If anything, I was applauding some of the things that they did that was more unique. Definitely breaking an overall horrible crutch that all horror movies kind of lean on, with music building up, jump scare could happen somewhere else and catches your eye, which is unique and good. It's what you want movies to do, is not be predictable. This movie's overall plot, and I guess characters tied in. Once again, all the characters are kind of one note. The brother has the only other really changing arc, because he wants to stay for his family. His wife and children are at home, and things are starting to get weird here. He's going to go defend them instead of anything else, and then we find out what happens there. I don't know. It's rated really high on IMDb and Shudder, and even Rotten Tomatoes gave it a really high score, which I don't understand why. It was okay, meh. The overall plot for this, though, I'll give it about a 7. Yeah, I'll give it about a 7 in plot. For the threat being this kind of darkish shadow, and also pretty much using the mother as the main puppet face for the possession, was unique and interesting. I'll give the threat about a 6.5. because it was interesting. Unfortunately, the scares really fell flat for me. There's probably about a 4, but once again, I'm a little bit more jaded. I have my friends' scores as well. Most people gave 5s to the scare or lower. Some people gave them 4s, some people gave them 5s, but a lot of people kept this movie around an overall 5. Is it newbie approved? No. There's it's kind of gory in certain scenes. Not really. There's like a slashing scene. There's there's a major slashing scene really early on involving her fingers. Spoiler alert, because it's shown in the trailer, so not really spoiler alert. But yeah, there's that. And would I watch it again? Probably not. Like I'd recommend it to somebody to try to get their take on it, see if it was maybe just like me joking around that kind of took me out of it. But I don't think it was that scary, and I would like other people's opinions on it. Overall, I gave it a 6.2. That's with everybody else that was involved with it as well, giving it mostly 5s and 6.5s and things along that nature. But it just couldn't be saved. The pacing issue was a massive problem. The lady who plays the mother did an excellent job being spooky and scary, but it just fell flat for me, even though, like, once again, it is rated very highly. 91 to Rotten Tomatoes, 6.1 to IMDb, Shudder 3.9, like, out of 5. It just wasn't for me. Yeah, maybe it's for you. So if you want to see if maybe I'm just too jaded to really judge possession movies anymore, anyway, I mean, we are on day 25, so it's possible. Feel free to go ahead and leave a review, leave a like if you enjoyed this and agreed with me. Tell me why I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, which I very well could be. But this is just my adaptation on it. This is my take. Watch it. Let me know what you think. Take care, everybody. And I know I say this all the time, but if your mom tells you to leave, you should have probably left and not came in the first place. That's all I'm saying. I hope you all have a great day. Stay scared. Take care. And I'll catch you on day 26. See you guys.